Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Special Hobby. And this is quite interesting kit because as you can see it copies 1/72 scale Junkers U or 87D-5. It's a special version which is marked as a D5, and as you can see this boxing is named as Axis Satellites. And I have to note that this is not let's say fully Special Hobby plastic. It uses Academy plastics parts, but it also has some upgrade parts from this Czech brand, and that's what actually will help you to reproduce the D5 version. And I think it will be interesting to see what is actually supplied in this nice box, so that's why we have a commercial sample on our table. And you can see that box art is quite nice. We also have 4 signs for the markings which are included here, and here is comparison with my hand. Next on the side we can see these 4 markings, and I have to say that they are quite colorful, even though it might look like a classic Stuka green camouflage, but in reality it has some noticeable differences which will be visible on the model even in 1/72 scale. And here we can also see some safety advices and also address of the manufacturer, so in case you would like to visit them, you know where to go. This is a top opening box, and inside we have assembly manual. On the top we have all parts packed into one plastic bag, and of course we will start with this plastic bag with parts, and then gradually we will move on to other components as well. What is quite interesting is that Academy parts, they're packed into another plastic bag, so just give me a second. I will try to take everything out. So here is what is actually packed here in this plastic bag, and maybe I suggest we start with original Academy parts, and then gradually we will move on to other components, including the new sprue from Special Hobby. So here you can see clear frame which is sealed into a plastic bag. That's why I will have to cut through in order to open it. Obviously we have here canopy parts, and as you can guess, just like any other, let's say, Special Hobby kits, they do not have any masks or mask templates, so in case you would like to cover this canopy, you will have to get some aftermarket set, and this is strongly advised because otherwise it will be quite tricky to cover all these small squares. But other than that, the molding quality is really good, so it's just a matter of doing the nice paint work. And as you can see, you can also copy the open canopy as far as you can see, so that's also a handy feature even in such tiny size. Next we continue with 3 plastic sprues in one bag, and by the way, note the year, which is 2002 here, so it hints on the age of this kit, and it's still one of the best Stukas in 1/72 scale as far as I remember, so that's something to think about. I wonder why none of the manufacturers actually decided to make their own, let's say, better version of this famous aircraft, but we have what we have. So, I think Airfix actually did their small scale kit, correct me if I'm wrong. Here we start with the first Academy sprue, so these are underwing gondolas. As you can see, they are molded as a single piece part together with a gun barrel, but we also, or cannon barrel, but we have the main body separated into 2 halves, so if I flip it over, inside you will find guiding elements which will help you with the proper alignment of these parts. Next we continue with the cowling area and some cockpit elements. So that's quite interesting because the cowling is separated into 2 halves, and you have to be careful while joining all this stuff together. And cockpit should be assembled out of separate parts, so you will get quite good details out of the box, so I don't think you will be dissatisfied. Again, here you can see in this cowling area we have some guiding elements, so it will be easy to align these parts together. And by the way, just to show you the external features here, you can take a closer look. So these are recessed panel lines, and they still look good. This is quite surprising in my opinion, because this kit is almost, well, not almost, it is 20 years old, but it still looks good. So next we continue with the third plastic sprue. Here we have fuselage halves, and external features are quite standard, so we have recessed panel lines. I do not see that many rivets, but note that rudder is pre-molded on one of the halves. Next, we continue with more elements. So here we have propeller blades, we have also propeller hub and the lower cowling section. We have exhaust stacks here, and if I flip it over inside fuselage hubs, you'll find some cockpit features, which is also quite important because it will be visible thanks to such, let's say, extensive canopy. So do not skip on the cockpit features. It will be visible even if you copy the closed canopy build or version. Still, it is possible to see what is actually inside. Now I'm opening another plastic bag. So here we have slightly bigger plastic sprues because this one is dedicated to the wing. As you can see, it is molded together with the wing mechanization. We also have landing gear parts here. So landing gear wheels, I would rather suggest to replace them with the resin set. So maybe it will give you better features, and of course in 1/72 scale it still will be noticeable because, as you can see, these parts are not that small. And for the top sections of the wing, they come on the next sprue. So here we have them. And again, we have attachment points on the leading edge. Here, by the way, we have tail wings. And we also have some landing gear parts. But note that they will not be needed for the D5 version because it features slightly different parts. And that's what we will see on the next plastic sprue. I mean, it's easy to understand that this sprue is coming from Special Hobby. Color of the plastic is different, also layout is different, and of course quality is different because we have a better molding quality here. But all in all, we have a lot of new parts. For example, landing gear wheels, as I said before, these landing gear fairings. Also, we have some parts for the cockpit area, and you can also notice this special landing gear struts, which will be handy for the version without fairings. And so that you can check all these parts closer, let's zoom in. So here you can take a closer look. I would say it's typical Special Hobby quality, so it's said in a good sense, let's say, because here we have no molding damage whatsoever, and I think to separate and glue together these parts will be quite easy. If you flip over these landing gear parts, you can notice that there are guiding elements, so it's also quite a well thought design, which will be helpful during assembly, so you won't be stuck with, let's say, unnecessary operations in order to align all this stuff together. And by the way, we have a separate plastic bag with decals and P parts, but that's quite important thing here because we are given P parts out of the box. So you get some fine features, you get to copy them without spending extra money, and I think some modders will appreciate it, some modders will not, because I know that some modders are not that keen on using P parts. So just give me a second, I'm trying to separate all or take out the decals sheet. It is quite tight fit here inside of this bag. I wonder why it is not going outside. Yeah, now it is moving. Okay, so decals are coming, well, it's not written where from they are, but printing quality looks nice. I don't have anything to complain about, so just give me a second. I will place them so that you can see what I'm talking about. Here they are. And we have all necessary symbols for floor marking options, so it's just a matter of careful application and you will be good to go. But as I said, we also have a P thread. It's unpainted P thread, but here we have all necessary parts for fine features on your Stuka. And this is a good bonus to have for free, let's say, out of the box. So definitely work on it, install all these parts, and your model will only benefit from such addition. And now we can move on to the assembly manual, so let's zoom out a bit. It's a typical color printed brochure designed in the same style as in other Special Hobby kits. So we have short history note on the first page, it's written in Czech and English. Next we continue with the parts map, and there are a lot of parts not used on the new sprue from Special Hobby, what actually hints on the upcoming versions in my opinion, because obviously they won't be doing a new sprue with some extra parts which will stay unused. And assembly process starts with the cockpit, so here you have also these hints on the right color shade for the necessary parts, and maybe it would be a good idea to pre-paint them before assembly so that it will be easier to work with all this stuff. Next, we continue by joining fuselage halves together. Note that nose section is coming only on the step 10. And then we start working on the wing parts. So here we proceed with tail wings, we assemble landing gear wheels. As you remember, the new parts are assembled out of several sections. And then we have also landing gear fairings getting into the place. We have also bombs being assembled with P parts for the fairings. And next we assemble or install the propeller, rear machine gun and canopy parts. So here you have a choice between this one piece canopy and also the canopy out of several sections. We also have list of the accessories from CMK, and I think that's a so-called special mask. So they produce the mask set for this aircraft, and I would suggest to get it so that you can, let's say, ensure that you have the proper paint finish. And next we proceed with the marking guide. So here we can see first two marking options. As I say, this is a classic splinter green camouflage, but we have a difference in various minor accents on the aircraft, and in my opinion this is quite important. And here, by the way, we have slightly different camouflage type. As you can see, it's a splatter type. So again, it's a interesting thing to copy. And then on the last pages we have ads for other kits in 1/72 scale from the same brand, so you can get them or you can check them first on our YouTube channel, and then you can get them on official Special Hobby website. And of course this BF109 kit, it's also great, and again we reviewed all the versions, so you can easily check all the reviews on the YouTube channel. As for today's kit, it should be already available, and you can get it on official Special Hobby website as well, together with the mask set. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.